monkeys, one that bit us in the ear and one that didn't. Now we would write, the monkey which bit me in the ear is now a gentle friend. Now the dependent clause is restrictive because it's distinguishing between the two monkeys. If we try to remove it, you won't know which monkey I'm talking about, this one or this one. Since the dependent clause is now essential to understand our sentence, we say it's a restrictive clause. And if the clause is restrictive, we don't use a comma.
Look at the two ways we can write the sentence. The monkey which bit my ear is now a gentle friend. First with the commas, then without the commas. In the first one, with a non-restrictive clause, there's only one monkey, and we're giving the reader a little information that we can pop out of the sentence without changing its meaning. But in the second one, the clause is restrictive. Since now there's more than one monkey, it's telling us which one is now a gentle friend, the one that bit us. If we try to remove it from the sentence now, we don't know which monkey we're talking about. See how the two sentences are saying different things? Behold the power of the comma.
Here's a helpful hint. We told you about 3 words that usually signal one of these clauses: who, which, and that. While who and which can lead into both restrictive and non-restrictive clauses, that clauses are always restrictive and therefore should never use a comma.
That wraps up commas and sentence interrupters. We have
interrupting expressions,
nouns
of direct address,
a
positive phrases,
and
non-restrictive clauses.
Would you stop interrupting
me? Stop it! I'm serious! Stop it!
We don't want to give you the impression that commas are only good for separating parts of a sentence. Commas can also bring sentences together to form bigger, more beautiful compound sentences, to set words on pedestals, to prevent misreadings. Oh, comma, you're not just a form of punctuation, you're a symbol of style.
Section D. Using commas for style.
Some famous person once said that sentence variety is the spice of life, or something like that. That's why we here at Cerebellum have invented the compound sentence.
The Standard Deviants wish to quickly refute any claims that we had anything to do with inventing compound sentences. Everyone knows compound sentences were invented by some lady in Manitoba. We think.
By using a coordinating conjunction like or, and, or but, you can hook 2 independent clauses together, giving us a compound sentence. Here's what we mean.
Clarice loves a good foot massage. Beau hates them.
Here we have 2 sentences, and each one is an independent clause. Now, let's enter the coordinating conjunction but. By sticking but in between the 2 sentences, we can fuse them to form a compound sentence. Clarice loves a good foot massage, but Beau hates them.
Now we have to make a decision. Do we leave the sentence the way it is without commas, or do we put a comma before the coordinating conjunction but? That, my friends, is a matter of style. So there's no definitive rule. It's optional.
It's optional.
It's optional!
The choice is yours, although most people only use a comma before the conjunction if the first clause is really long, as if we said, Clarice loves a good foot massage when it is done correctly by a trained professional. But Beau does not. Without a comma, the sentence is a lot harder to read, so you don't want to leave a sentence like this totally commaless.
Since commas tend to slow a reader down, you can also use commas to draw attention to a particular part of a sentence, a great way to add a hint of drama to your writing. Take a look at these sentences.
She drew the grapefruit slowly from her handbag.
She drew the grapefruit slowly
From her handbag.
Look at the 2 sentences side by side. In the first one, we didn't use commas before and after the adverb slowly to separate it from the rest of the sentence. In the second sentence, the commas slow the reader down, and the visual pauses give the word slowly a little more emphasis.
When an adverb comes at the beginning of a sentence, it's equally as common to use a comma as it is to not use one. But when the adverb is in the middle of the sentence, 9 times out of 10, you're better off not using commas with adverbs, since slowing the reader down for no reason is a bad thing. Think of using commas with adverbs as a precious, precious gift we would never want to exploit.
You did it! You made it all the way through the commas section. Let's review.
But don't feel like the comma is the only middle mark you'll encounter. We've got plenty more where that came from.
Part 4. The other middle marks.
The next two punctuation marks we're going to talk about, the semicolon and the colon, seem to be trickier than the comma, but they're really not. Let's take a look at the semicolon.
Section A, the semicolon.
Here's a semicolon. It looks like a period sitting on top of a comma. If a period is a stop sign and a comma is a yield sign, then what in the world's a semicolon? Think of it as a bridge. Like a period, it separates two independent clauses, or complete sentences. But like a comma, it kind of joins pieces of a bigger idea together. So it's sort of like a connector and a divider.
Semicolons take two independent clauses with balanced ideas and combine them into one big compound sentence. So if the two things you're trying to connect are both independent clauses and their ideas balance each other, think about using a semicolon. Let's look at a semicolon in a sentence, then see exactly what it's doing.
Mama Napoli adds basil to her sauce to mellow the...
To watch more free educational videos, visit our website, studioforlearning.tv. Stretch your brain online.